Welcome to the Fire Center, everybody. You can check out, we've got a new website for the venue itself, i.e. firecenter.com. You can check that out if you're wanting to either rent the event or you know people that might want to, either like real estate groups or agents or whoever needs a space like this. We actually rent this place out for the day or for the weekend or whatever. We're not here using it, okay? So you can check that out or send them to that website or just come talk to me either way. Also, there we go. We have our sponsors. If you're a sponsor, raise your hand, please. All right, let's give those guys a round of applause. All right, lots have tried to just throw money at me and get on the sponsor board. I'm not that desperate, just a little desperate. But we do have some great sponsors. Thank you to everybody that is a sponsor. We actually decided to let some sponsors go. So if you're not showing up, it's kind of hard to represent you when nobody knows who the hell you are. So we let those guys go. You'll notice the sponsors are a little bit less, but the ones that are showing up, we really appreciate you guys. All we ask is if you can, go to the website or check out sponsors.iereic.org and give them a shot first, okay? So if you need some solar work, security systems, solar panels, escrow, design work, or you want to partner on deals, or you need deals, or you want to be on the podcast, or help me with the podcast, either way, check out our sponsors first, okay? And give them a shot. Give them a chance to earn your business first before everybody else. They actually really help support the club. They pay for a lot of stuff that's around here, okay? It's not cheap to be a sponsor, and I really appreciate all you guys, okay? Also, we got some events coming up, and I didn't update this slide, sorry. Lenny the Boss was great. That was last month. But this weekend, I am teaching a beginner calculator course ahead of Goodwin's Be the Bank course. Okay, so Goodwin's Be the Bank course is going to be a really deep dive. It's 2 days. That is next weekend. It's 2 days all about promissory notes, creating notes, basically being a lender. Okay, he's going to give you forms. He's going to give you contracts, all kinds of stuff. I just actually ordered the manual. It's 220 pages long. Okay, so there is a ton of material that's Goodwin's going to be covering. There is a prerequisite for that class. You need to have at least taken a basic financial calculator class and have a basic understanding of the 10B2 calculator, okay? So if you haven't taken one of those classes or it's been a while and you want to brush up before Goodwin's class, I am offering one this weekend, this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's $97 for members, okay? For non-members, it's $150. So members, you get $50 off. Way more than the 15% I usually do. Anybody got a calculator? They want to calculate that return? If you don't know, you should probably take the class. Okay? Also, we got John Schaub coming out in June. John is a national best-selling author. He's actually going to be, I'm going to have him piping in via Zoom 2 weeks from now for my mindset, fire focus. He's going to come in here and kind of talk about mindset and real estate and why he really only focuses on single family and stuff like that. So John, and also we have Pete coming up in August. And John and Pete specifically, these guys usually don't teach out on the West Coast. They are from the East Coast. They don't really come out here all that much. I've paid over the last, 5 years, thousands and thousands of dollars to go see these guys talk, between not only paying for the class, but also hotels and airfare all the way out to Florida. So them coming out here is a lot cheaper, especially if you don't need a hotel and you live in the area. It's going to be a lot cheaper. So take advantage of that, guys. These guys don't come out here that much. And again, all you members, you get 15% off all the tickets, which, you're pretty much getting it for less than it would be the flight to get out there. Yes, sir.
Was it worth the money you spent to go to the East Coast?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I would have liked it cheaper. So. And also in July, we have Andy Teasley back there, Miss Fairlane over there. She's at the work in the desk. And Adrian Spoon, those of you who don't know Adrian, he's been doing mobile homes for years. Him and Andy generally agree on a lot and disagree on a lot. So you're going to get 3 very differing opinions on how to flip mobile homes. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, we're going to do a 3-day, basically mobile home fiesta called Wealth on Wheels. And that's 3 days in July, okay? So all of these, every single class that we're going to have here at the Fire Center, the first 25 people to use the code Early Bird, again, that code is Early Bird, you get an extra $50 off with that code, okay? My class, those are already gone. Goodwin's, there's a few left. And Andy and the rest of them, there's like between like 10 and 15 left. So if you want an extra $50 off and an even better deal, get in on that quick, okay? And who has not brought a book? There's a lot more hands than that. Come on, who's not brought a book? Okay, who's taking a book? Nobody's gonna admit to it. All right, the library. Okay, we're trying to build it out like the thing on the left. Okay, we want it to look like the one on the left. Right now, the one on the right, it's not that bad anymore. It's actually been filled up quite a bit, but it still has some empty shelves that I like to get filled. Okay, the idea with the library was to bring one, take one. Okay, if you didn't bring one and you want to take one, that's fine. Just please bring another one back, or bring the same one back plus some interest. Okay, that's the only way we're gonna make this work. Okay, as the club can't afford to keep stocking libraries for free. All right, so bring some books in. It's real estate related, finance related, something you think's interesting. It doesn't matter. Okay, just bring it in, and then somebody, I promise you, will find it interesting. I bought like if you're at like a thrift store or something like that, I bought the autobiography of Warren Buffett for $1.50. It was like this thick. It was like a hard book. I was like, why not? And I put it in there, and a week later, somebody took it. So, and I'm glad. I mean, that's what the point of it is. But like, you don't have to go spend $20 and buy a book to throw it in the library. Just keep an eye out when you're at like thrifting or whatever it is you do in your free time. Okay. Also, we have these new fancy hats that we just got made. If you want one, they are all different colors, all different designs. You can either get it with the fire logo on it or the club's logo on it. And again, all different colors. I have knocked the price down. Those things are on sale. They used to be $40, now they're $30. Okay, we knocked the price down quite a bit. So if you want to get in on one of those, they're all up at the check-in table. You can buy them on your way out or next time, whatever. But they do help support the club, okay? And they cost about like $20-something a hat to make. So it's not like we're making a whole lot off of them. But it does help, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to bring up Mr. Jim and Mr. Evan. These guys are awesome, awesome people, awesome instructors. We just went through Fire Fast together for 6 weeks, and it was a blast. So let's give these guys a round of applause.
We made it another month.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this night for actually several months. For a couple of things. One, for the last little while, Jim's been talking about what he's been doing with his other partner and traveling around the state, doing these deals, and he's telling me some of what he's making, and I'm like about to fall over, going, wow, and it's really cool, very impressed, man. Wow, yeah. And then at the same time, I had asked Al several months ago about trying to do this like in January, but scheduling, and I thought we had a lockdown for February and didn't realize that we'd be on the cruise, so that was out. So, because we skipped that month. So here we are, again, bringing Al and Marta up in a little bit. We'll talk about that. But otherwise, Jim, what are you doing?
Well,
before that, how are you doing besides that?
what I'm really excited about is I took your advice and I did do the purchase the beneficiary rights from a heir, and I used Jennifer Jones, the attorney, to do this, and it's actually pretty remarkable, to be honest with you. I think I paid them probably too much, but I paid them $40,000. They owe $208. Well, at $208 and climbing because it's a reverse mortgage. So, whatever. We'll be into it for a little more than $250, I think. But one of the people at the club already, told me they'd pay like $410 for it. So I'm not gonna really do anything. I did clean it. I think we got like 11 loads of stuff. I'll just say it that way. I was gonna say crap, but I didn't want to say crap over the intercom. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
oh crap!
well, I like Chipotle.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so that's good.
So how many burritos would that cost me? A couple bucks? Yeah, I'm excited. No, but it was really good though because the market is so hot right now, guys. These properties are so valuable. I typically would have been someone who would have bought it, fixed it, and sold it off. That's typically my business plan. There wasn't much of a benefit in holding the property for. I figured it was about a $90,000 rehab. I mean, that's going to be what, 3 months? You know, so I got to hold it all that time, and who knows what would happen in that time. So it was nice to kind of get rid of that, but. So yeah, we did that, and I did a couple of the aftermarket bid properties. We got a really nice fire burnout in Olivehurst, which is off Highway 80 above Sacramento, and it's a $32,000 purchase. And we're just trying to find someone who will take it from us. We don't want to fix it.
And some of you pick on me because I drive to Victorville and it's too far.
Yeah, I did go to this property. I got pictures of it, but that'll be hopefully the last time I ever go to it. And then we got a really cool place in Salinas. It's where they have the porta potty business in town. So Salinas is a farming community. So this property has a conditional use permit that makes it much more valuable because there's a 30,000 gallon septic system on the property. So they would go out during the day and pump the toilets and then come back and then put it into the septic system. This was like an operation. So we just bought the property, but there's a business owner in town who wants to buy the property from us.
So for how much and what's it worth?
It's a number I'm not really comfortable talking about, but it's $1 million resale and an under $500,000 purchase. So it worked out well for us on this deal. I'm just the lender on really most of these. I'm just the lender, but it works out good.
Just
the lender.
Yeah. How many lenders are in the room? So right.
Just the
right?
lender.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a good operation, and I'm gonna today. You guys have to understand. I've been doing this about a year. I believe I know what I'm doing. I believe I'm comfortable investing my money into all of this. Me standing up here and beating on the table and teaching it all to you, I'm a little frightened. I got to be honest with you.
You're going to kind of pull the curtain back.
Yeah,
a little
so
bit
I'm gonna show you where I get some information. I found some other sources of information that maybe you guys might be interested in. This is a very, very specific thing. This is not a broad. It's a broad kind of swatch of, hey, this is what could be done. But I'll still share it with all you guys. I'm just going to do like 15, 20 minutes on it. And I think at a later meeting, we'll come back and maybe get a little bit more intense into it. But it's still a neat thing because, you've got a spectrum here. You can buy mobile homes for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, fix them for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and make money and make long-term cash flow in your IRAs. Or you can, purchase a property in the middle of a farming area and literally make, mid, seven figures or mid, $500,000 on a deal. I guess that's six figures.
And you get a nice little trip because you got to get out there to get to it because it's here, then here, and over here.
Well, that's been actually I hate to be
the fun part?
So personal, but. Like I fell in love with my wife. It's cool because I'm out there. I get to we get to stay in these crazy hotels. We get to it was pouring rain. We made it all the way up to a place called Said Valley, and when we're done with this, look it up. Said Valley. It's 20 miles from Oregon, and it was 2 hours on a road like this up against the Klamath River. And it was pouring the entire time. And
well, cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Right. Well. All right. Well. Yeah. And lately, I've just been doing a lot of follow-ups, meeting with a couple sellers, and just to tell you, the things you're doing today are going to pay off next week, next month, next year. We just got last year we looked at a property up in the mountains. I went out there, met the family, and gave them an offer. Did what we do, and they seemed to like it, but. They just weren't ready to do anything. Caitlin had been following up, etc. Well, Angela gets an email. Hey, I'm trying to reach your husband. or it was a voicemail. Sorry, it's a voicemail because I had given this guy her number in case, hey, here's our offer, but it's in pretty good condition. You could list it for a little more and make some money. And so a year later, he contacts and says, I want to talk to your husband. So he calls, and so I call him, and he says that his offer still good. I said, yeah, I need to confirm a couple of things, and market's changed a little up there. But essentially, yes. So he's
it got better for you.
Yeah, right. It did. And so he's actually mailing us the key because he already moved.
Oh, wow.
And actually, I check tomorrow. I got to double check tomorrow, see if we have it now, so we can go check it. And it's really a clean out, fix some things, got to modernize it. But it either be something we'd wholesale, or we would just fix up and do a complete flip, or a real empty it out, clean it up, put it, maybe take care of termite stuff, and put it on the market. We're not really sure yet. But the thing is, the things you're doing now, remember, might not pay off for a year. And the other two deals we're still working on are 3 years old and 4 years old. So that happens. We did just put up something from our probate we did on our beneficial rights, where we bought the rights of someone, their grandfather had died, and instead of them going through probate and everything, we bought their rights and opened probate in our name, instead of them, and gave them some cash so they could go away. And I learned that from another member here, another mentor of mine. Thank you again, sir. And
The gorilla.
yeah, and it turned out that we actually went on the market yesterday. So it was a project that was a little more than a year because of probate and stuff. I was going to keep it as a rental, but it went on the market. We owe $100,000, and we're on the market $265 for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. So if you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath investment property in the desert that'll rent about $2,000, $2,100, numbers do work on that. So we just did that. We just sold another mountain flip of ours that we started, and we just, after did some foundation work, we were like, you know what? We've got enough things going on. Let's just dump this one, put it on the market, sold it in like 7 days for over asking at a good discount though too. So you guys missed out not picking that up, because whoever buying that's going to do another deal. It's going to make some money on the end of it.
I think that's probably the biggest. I was at a drink earlier today, talking about selling properties, and I know for me, we're not selling for record prices. So there was a time in my life when, if the house wasn't a hot home on Zillow, I was pissed. You know, I want to sell for the absolute top price. And we've sold over 10 properties in the last few months, and every one of them we're selling for probably a 20% off of the high discount. And my average days on market are like 4 or 5 days. We're not having to give massive concessions. The perception is that there's $20, $30, $50, $100,000 of the equity that they're going to miss out on, and
Gotcha.
it's kind of nice.
All right. Well, I'm excited to hear too. I'm going to go sit down, and everyone, Jim Keller here, and Jim, again, is not only just a friend of mine, he's also one of my mentors.
Oh, boy.
And so give it up for Jim.
All right, so some of you might not even realize it. I broke my arm 2.5 years ago. It was pretty intense, and it was at a perfect time for me, because I had, in my brilliance, I'd sold everything because I was convinced the market was just going to end. Okay, and what an idiot I am, right? And then I get into this accident, and it was nice because I was able to kind of like take a breather, it wasn't important what I was going to do next, because A, I was still alive, and B, I still had an arm, it was a pretty serious accident. And in this time, I was able to really think, like, hey, what do I want to do when I grow up? I'm 59, by the way. So someone at the club, someone I had helped before in another circumstance, okay, asked me to vet somebody. His name's Matt. Matt's a smart guy. A lot of people know who Matt is. Matt Kelly's his name. And I quickly found out he's a real smart guy. Really, very much knows what he's doing. And I not only did I tell the person from the club, hey, I like this guy. I actually put my own money into the deal, and in like 2 months, I made my money back plus $20,000-$30,000 bucks. I was very, very happy. This was like December last year, or December 2 years ago, so whenever it was 18 months ago. And we slowly started doing this, and what he specializes is in something called after-market bidding. So everyone, is anyone familiar or not familiar with SB 1079? So I put this up here, right here, and I'm certainly not going to go through the entire thing. I think it's 34 pages. All of you can, if you just Google SB 1079, you'll be able to find it yourself, okay? It's a lot of legalese, okay? It's a lot of craziness. It's a lot of very interesting information, and you're going to just be lost reading it all. But I wanted to show this to you because I thought it was important that this law was built. Someone from the California legislature up in Oakland, California, was concerned with the corporations purchasing property. So they made it legal for owner-occupants, any owner-occupant, and just so we're real clear, that's who you guys are, is owner-occupants, okay, that sell at trustee sale. You have to put an intent to bid on the property in the first 15 days after if it sells at an auction, at the courthouse steps, they call it, okay? But if you do this, if the trustee says, yes, you are a recognized bidder, you can actually bid on this property. Now you have to pay cash and you have to be the high bidder. So if there's 9 people bidding, you might have to bid more or less. It's up to you guys as to what you want to do. There's other caveats. There's other places or other ways you can get involved in this aftermarket bidding. Now, I went to about 15 different websites. This was the one that I thought was the most well laid out. Don't kid yourself. This is a company. They're soliciting your business. I'm not telling you to do any business with these people, okay? It was laid out very well. It explains the system very well. And guys, as I said before, I'm not qualified to sit up here and tell you, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. There's a lot of moving parts here, but what I like about the site is it kind of explains all of the different places and different things you can do, and I believe, like here it is right here, who is eligible to bid? So the eligible tenant buyer. Now I like this. This is kind of interesting. I want you to think about this for a minute. What if you were dealing with someone who was in foreclosure and they owned the property and they were going to sell it and you leased the property from you? Would you be a tenant?
Yes.
Would you be eligible to purchase the property through this program?
Yes.
So you've got to see this. You got to see this for what it is. And this is the California legislature is really kind of helping investors, nonprofit organizations, homeowners. They really like the idea of the property staying in the tenant's name. They don't want the property to be stolen out from underneath them. And I think that's a crazy term. That's their term, not mine. Most of these people can't pay the payment. That's why they're losing the property. But it's a very good opportunity. And you can see here they're talking about nonprofit organizations. This is the partner I do business with. He owns a nonprofit organization. He spent a lot of money, like almost $100,000, putting together this nonprofit organization. This isn't something he just did on the fly. And he operates what they call a low-income housing operation. So he purchases property and offers them for rent on the market, and some of them he sells off, and those can be very lucrative because you're purchasing these properties basically at trustee sale prices. Now, most of the property that's sold at a trustee sale, I mean, I got to be honest with you, most of it sells for about the number that I would purchase it at from a wholesaler. So the number I like to go with is, again, guys, just a formula. What's the value of the property minus 25% minus rehab That's what most people would pay for the property. So at trustee sale, sometimes, I usually see that number. I see that number is usually pretty close. Sometimes I see it way less. There's, some other extenuating circumstance, which there's always an extenuating circumstance, but I don't usually see it, I don't see it larger than that often. It does happen though, but I recommend if you're interested, there's the website that's there, you can see it. I recommend you go to it. I'm assuming that if any of you are all that interested, you're going to be writing all of this stuff down as we're speaking. This is well, I liked it because I love the name Toolkit, okay? I'm a guy. This is literally a step-by-step for you, okay? Now, this is done by a low-income housing group that is helping people, and everyone talks about, what do they call those, BRRRRs, BRR, where you buy the property, you fix it, you live in it. This is sort of this routine right here, okay? And what it does is it gives a lot of information for people, like for instance, maybe you don't have the resources, because you got to pay cash for these homes. So great, the house is worth $1 million and it's selling at the trustee sale for $585,000. Well, you have to have $585,000. So you have to develop a strategy on how are you going to raise this money. So that's actually how I got involved in the nonprofit, is that I had cash that I could put into deals. So all of you have a place. That's what we teach here. If your place is mobile home parks, good for you. There's a way for you to do it. If your place is, I know some people here, they purchase at the trustee sale. The problem is there's so many houses that are, there's so few houses on the market, it's very hard to find prices. There's a lot more people at the trustee sale, trying to buy, and a lot of those people don't have financial partners that they got to pay back in 60 days or 90 days. They've got unlimited deep pockets, so it's a very competitive market. So I'm telling you guys all about this, but I want to be realistic with you. It's not like you're just gonna set this up and start going to town. But I know this information. I thought this was more like a end user, meaning someone who doesn't actually do this every day. This is a good way to get some information on it. It talks about certain people and how they raised money. This particular woman, she found a mentor at a low-income housing group and raised money through them. Anyway, I liked the site. So this right here, our Attorney General is who regulates this whole thing. So I'm saying this to you folks because this is serious business. They're not just going to give you a do-over if you make a mistake. Okay, this is the Attorney General runs this the entire operation here. But I like this. So we were talking about, I was calling them aftermarket bidding, but this is a list. It's what is it? oag.ca.gov. residential/foreclosure/sales. I love this site because this site has all of the winners. So these are people that actually purchased properties, and I believe there's around 1,000 of these sales that have gone down since the first one was 10/31/22. And what I really want you guys to notice, and this was like a big aha moment for me because I thought this was all about nonprofits. Yes, sir?
That guy's a club member.
Well, there you go. There you go. There you go. So I thought this was all about, so see there's the winning bidders, this guy right here. So I want to be real clear. One of you ponied up hundreds of thousands of dollars and you purchased this house at sale. And this gentleman this guy right here, he put in a intent to bid, or all of these people put in an intent to bid. And believe me, we put intent to bids on almost every property that at least kind of fits the box. and we only bid on a small percentage of them because we run out of money, we find a problem with the property, so on and so forth. But the idea is that on the 45th day, so the sale happened on January 1st, on February 15th, and sorry if my math isn't perfect there, on February 15th, the trustee opens up all the unsealed bids, and any of these qualified bidders, whoever is the high bidder, and I'll give you a very good example. I was looking at a condominium at LA Live. If anyone is aware of LA Live, is like the Staples Center down there, what they call it, the Crypto Center. And this was a $45,000 HOA lien. There was a $780,000 first mortgage, and this property sold for $56,000 for the HOA lien. Now you're responsible for the $789,000 first, okay? But there's a long, big story on a property like that, and I don't know, maybe the buyer ends up only making a couple $100,000 on a deal like this, but it was kind of sexy. I went out and looked at the deal. It was neat to see it, to be honest with you. But what I really wanted to show you guys is that it's not a bunch of corporations or non-profit corporations. It's individuals. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a corporation. But you see what I'm saying? And this is deal after deal. I mean, there's a lot of them here. Okay, and these people are doing this for a reason, and it's not because it doesn't work. It's not because they're not making money doing it. Okay, and I realize there's another opportunity. The next guy that comes up here will tell you about a great opportunity. Okay, but this is just one more opportunity. I like this for me because it allows me to. One of my dreams when I retired was that my wife and I got to drive around and kind of see the world, and that's what I'm doing now. We stayed in a crappy motel in Lake Shasta, and got up early in the morning and drove for 5 hours in the rain. It sounds stupid, but I feel like I'm living. I feel like I'm doing something great, and I've been in this business for 15 years. I've been actively investing for 15 years, and this is the most lucrative opportunity I've been involved in. So it all just sort of comes together, and guys. This is what I've been doing. I know I've talked about it several times with some of you. I'm going to try to put together something a little bit more comprehensive, where I can give you maybe some action steps, like do this, do this, do this. But any one of you could have been this guy or this woman. Any one of you, okay? It just wasn't because you got to do the work. But that's what I have prepared. I see one question in the back, but we don't have a lot of time for questions. But go ahead, one.
How much time do you have from the time you decide, okay, I want to bid on this property, to when you have to come up with the money to buy it?
Well, that's the beautiful thing about it, is that today properties sold at the trustee sale, and we focus on properties that have problems, big problems. Okay. And if oftentimes houses sell for very inexpensive amounts at the trustee sale, when that happens, that's usually a property we automatically put a letter of intent on, and then we determine, literally, it's me in my pajamas, at 11 o'clock at night on the computer, just trying to figure out, do we want a property here? Do we want this house? Like a lot of fire burnout properties we've dealt with. So the answer is you have 45 days. So that's 45 days to raise capital. That's 45 days to due diligence. That's 45 days to contact the resident. So yes, I've become really good friends with an eviction attorney. This is a different business, guys. This isn't like what we're talking about. But anyway, that's what I have for you, and I hope that was
awesome.
Good
awesome.
enough.
You know what I also see right there? I see a couple thousand people with deep pockets that, hey, you ever lend money? Think about it. Richard was calling people that paid cash for houses in Crestline some years ago, and got a particular person that we were speaking with, and they said, well, we just bought and paid cash for this place, but I'm trying to figure out how to sell my other house. We ended up partnering with that gal and did that deal. We made like $75,000 or $85,000 off of a call in Irvine on a mobile home. We sold a mobile home for $400 and something thousand. Double wide. Yeah, double wide. Yeah, nice double wide. Now, if it was in a park in Victorville, it'd have been like $22,000. You know, just location is location, right? And whether land's included. But anyway, Jim, that again, awesome. Who would want to hear more about Jim going in depth on that sometime? Okay, so we will do that. We've got to work on that. And again, thanks, man. That was awesome. Like he said, that's been extremely profitable. If you get them, corner them in the room and ask them what some of the numbers are making, just hold on to something. Okay, just hold on, because you're gonna faint. You know, it's very good. Just understand this: every time that the government comes up with something, a lot of times there's someone that comes around with a workaround. I want to describe something for any of the landlords out there. I was reading the Apartment Owners Association magazine. Anyone know that magazine? Highly recommend to be a member of that. Anyway, I was reading it 3 days ago, the latest edition, March of 2024. And an attorney in there, landlord-tenant attorney in there, was talking about the new law about the cap on deposits. It's only going to be for long-term rentals, unfurnished, 1 month's rent. So if it's $2,000 a month rent, your deposit can be $2,000, right? That's coming July 1st, June 1st. It's coming. I just saw this. I do not know the veracity of this. This was in an article 3 days ago that I saw from an attorney in LA. So, all right, I'm not an attorney, but I'm going to say what he said. So they come up with that. So then what happens if you have a tenant that is applying and maybe they're right on the edge or just below and everything else looks good, you'd want to give them a chance. In the past, you could say, tell you what, give me an extra $1,000 or double the deposit. You could do that. That was legal. That's been allowed, the law of the land for years. Now they're taking that choice away from you. So what do a lot of landlords do? Well, I'm going to raise my credit scores. I'm going to raise my income scores, which then hurts the very people they say they're trying to help. We just had an eviction and we're out $12,000. Took 5 months. Plus a few months of me playing around with the guy, because believing what he's saying, because I want to believe, because I don't want to go to the eviction. Anyway, the attorney said one of the things that people are doing is the one I said, raise your requirements, or Jeff, I know you want to rent this place. Well, the first month's rent on my $2,000 apartment is $4,000, and thereafter it's 50% off every month after that. And that's what he said is illegal. Look it up. March 2024. I read that 3 times going, you just find a way around. And it's just this constant battle. Regulation and solution, regulation and solution, and the law of unintended consequences. So just had to throw that out there. Look into it for yourself before you do that, but check it out. It's in that magazine. I'm excited to bring up some friends of ours. I don't remember exactly when I first met Al and Marta, but I remember that it was via a wholesaler somewhere in the high desert, somewhere around 2014, 15, just as I was going full-time. And I can tell you something. Met this guy, he started talking about his partner or his friend Al, and I can tell you this. I was like, oh, this guy's really experienced, and I was a newbie. 2015, went full-time. And I'm talking to this, I forget his name, he'll remind me of this common friend. And so we started talking, and we both ride motorcycles, and we were on the phone one day, and he and I just had quit my job. I think Angela was still working, and I'm on the phone with Al, and we're just chatting. Again, didn't know him very well. I think he just had a motorcycle accident or something around there, right after there. But anyways, we're talking. I get a call on the other line from someone we bought a house from before. He goes, hey, Evan, I got this other house. You want to buy it too? And I'm like, yes, for $30,000 in Barstow. And we had just sold a Barstow triplex, and I wanted nothing to do with Barstow. So I'm like, yes. Click back over to Al. I'm like, you want to buy a house in Barstow for like $33,000, like right now? because I literally fled Barstow at the time. And he's like, sure. So one of my first deals, once I quit that job and took that leap of faith, was with this man right here. I think it was the same month, might have been the second month, right there, for $3,000. And he'll tell you what he sold that house for later. And it was one of my biggest mistakes at the time to do. But really, everyone, Al and Marta, la ciega. Yeah, so here, I'm going to, how about I stand on the side? And you guys? Sure. Okay. All right, okay. Yeah, you guys share. Okay, well, first of all, again, thanks for coming out. I know we started talking a few months ago about this.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate it. Okay, something, you guys hear me okay? All right.
Yes.
Almost felt like it's fading. Just want to tell you, these two people I highly, highly respect. A lot of times we make the mistake of going, oh, there's that, we call him a mentor. He's in front of the room. I hear he's doing a lot of deals. For the amount of experience this couple has, you guys should be talking to them every time you see them. All right? I'm telling you, it is a mistake just to try to chase down Jim and I and Rich and a couple of guys. I'm telling you, you're missing an opportunity. Okay? I highly respect them. Call them for advice. It's something that, and I love this couple. So I wanted to share with that. And I don't say that about a lot of people. So this guy. But anyway, so what have you been up to?
Oh, he's got a list.
I have a list. Yeah, you can't see it yet. I have some things. I have to stay on target. Otherwise, we'll be talking about motorcycles all night. So real quick, why don't you tell everyone real quick who you are, what you do real fast before I start asking questions.
Okay, my name is Al. Santiago. This is Marta, everyone. Okay, Marta is my life partner, my business partner. Been married 29 years, and she's a fantastic real estate agent. Okay, and I'm an investor. Okay, so I used to be with her as a real estate agent full time, and then back in 2011. At the kitchen table, this is after we lost everything from like everybody else in 2007 and 8, and I made a decision that I wanted to become an investor. But I only had $30,000 and no idea who I was going to get to partner with. And then like later that day, that next morning, our buddy calls up, who's very wealthy, and he says, hey Al, I'm going to go into business. And so we started flipping in 2011.
2011, a friend called you? So how many of your friends are waiting for that call? That's what I just heard.
It was decision. He had made the decision to become a full-time investor. He said, I'm not going to be a real estate agent no more. I'm going to do investing. This is where it's at.
Okay, awesome. So you're, and right now, you're the active real estate agent. She kicks butt, guys. You knew what she made last year. She kicks heinies, I'm telling you. If you need experience in agent and Angela's busy, call Marta, okay? Yeah, so a couple things. First of all, who did we meet through? What was the...
We met through, and I'm still friends with him, with Eddie Moreno.
Yeah, Eddie, that's right, Eddie. I bumped into him on a project, I think, of yours, your guys' or his, in Apple Valley, one of my first ones after I got out of my job in this area by South Road in Apple Valley.
Was that Shawnee by chance? Shawnee?
Yeah, that sounds right. It's over in that, I forget the name of the area, but anyway, yeah. And again, who you know, your network is your net worth. And who would have thought that 10 years later, we'd be, standing up here talking to you all good folk about all the different things that they do and what we do. So awesome. So we met. So Eddie was a wholesaler, did a bunch of stuff, but he's been living life doing other things today, right?
Yeah, he and I were partners on several deals, maybe 6, 7 deals.
Right. I remember that. He was your partner.
Right. So I had not too many partners over the years, and from 2011 to 2018, I think I flipped about 92 houses.
92 houses.
But I don't keep track. And it was good, but it wasn't, but there's a difference though. When you're flipping houses, you're just a speculator. You're not really an investor, so I didn't know that when I said I'm going to become an investor. I will just
We all
flip
do.
them. Yeah. So now I just buy a few houses and I rent them. I fix them up real nice and I put a nice family in there. But I have one rule about that.
Okay.
So, and it applies to mobile homes as well. If I can't put my family in that house, I can't put another family in that house. So it's not, I don't go crazy with like, lavish floors and velvet on the walls, whatever, okay? They're all,
Okay, Elvis. I just dated us, by the way, but that's okay.
so it's pretty much, really is cookie cutter. Okay, I was known for the yellow houses with the red doors. I had yellow houses everywhere.
Was yellow before beige? Yellows before the beiges, before the grays?
I think
Is
that's
that
the way it
the
goes.
priority, how it went? Okay.
Now gray's out, by the way. Then I went to gray, and now gray's out again.
Yeah, they're saying that. Yeah, I saw the gray one here and there. Okay. Wait, what?
So yellow's classic.
Yellow's classic. Yeah. And then it just says this big circle. We'll be back to beige and brown soon, so it's okay.
So Marta was a huge part of that, though. So I'm gonna give the mic to her, and I'm gonna put the spotlight on her.
What's that a big part of it?
The way it was is that we were a team, so we had a lot of contacts with agents, and agents are a vital part in this business. Okay, so we would do our research, make our calls to agents we knew and trusted over the years, and they would give us sometimes off-market listings that were coming up before it hit the market. Okay, and we made a decent offer to the people. They were very happy, and then we knew what it was going to sell for afterwards. So take it.
Just add some thoughts on that.
Well, we asked. We were just, back in the day when we were doing real estate, he was a real estate agent, we were making really good income. We were like making $600,000. But we were selling at a high level, a lot of listings. We were prospectors. We would do 3 hours door knocking. We would hit 200 doors.
Door knocking works?
Yes.
Who would have thought that? Where's Mark?
3 hours out there in the neighborhood with 200 flyers. We did that for years, not spend one penny. It was hard work, and it did pay off. However, we never bought any real estate. We were just like speculators, like flippers. You don't create wealth like that. I mean, I don't know to do it that way.
You're right. You make good money. It's enough. Unless you do something else with it, yeah.
Right, but then the moment you stop doing the work, the money goes, especially if you don't reinvest it.
Right.
And I told him when we lost it all and we only had $500 to our name, very humbling. We lost all our property, everything in 07 because it crashed, and we were both agents. We had no reserves, no income property. I said, wow, we have been doing this for 15 years. I've been selling real estate for the last 25 years. That's all I know how to do. And door knocker and prospector, because I hunt for my business every single morning. That's how I get my business. And I said, I want to live for free someday. I don't want to be 80 years old one day and wake up looking for my next deal, commission. And we said, I want to live for free. We opened up a company, Living for Free. I said, we have to buy what we sell and build our wealth.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. By the way, on that $3,000 that they made in 2015, that I don't know where that went except to survive at the time, and to your point, the properties we bought, rentals before that, the ones that we still have, yes, that's where really the investing is a part of. So yes, you flip and wholesale to raise the capital so you can live a nice lifestyle, and then put every available penny into the buy and holds, the notes, the mobile home, the Lonnie deals, lending, because that's really where you're going to build it so you can stop doing the active income. All right? Just understand that. Just keep that in mind. Most successful flippers that I know, they start becoming landlords, and eventually a lot of them translate into lenders. They start lending. Or sometimes they might just jump from flipping to the lending, but that's just a natural progression for that. But by the way, real quick, that Barstow deal that I passed by on Saturday and saw it as I went by, is on Main Street, in Lenmore, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Lenmore is it?
Yeah, Lenwood. So how much did you make back then after you had it for about a year?
Well, I had it a little bit longer than
Oh,
that.
okay.
So bought it for 30,000 plus your
3.
Actually, it was 2.
Oh, it was 2?
Sorry.
Probably tied me
Remember
down.
that, didn't- Oh, didn't the agent want to kill you for that?
No, there was no agents on that.
Did the other guy, or the other wholesaler?
No, that was my deal.
Okay. All
Well, I
right.
had a partner. that was upset with me.
Maybe he wanted to kill you.
Yeah, he did.
We kept that one for a while, and it was going great, and fixed it with a light rehab, put a wall heater unit, painted it nice, and got all the income in the meantime, and I sold it for $106,000. So
And you made, I think you told me. Yeah, I think he made 72,000 because it's burned into my soul on that one. I remember that going, okay.
But we regret selling it.
that's true.
Does that make it better, Andy? Yeah, all right. So understand, know when to sell and know when to. By the way, I'm now investing in Barstow again. It's totally different situation. So
Call me on a wholesale, yeah?
yeah, we'll have to do that. But well, look, a little bit more of that, your background. Who was an agent first? Who became an agent first?
I did. I was an agent when I was a 20-year-old kid back in '89.
Okay, is that before you met?
Yes, way before, yeah.
So you were already an agent, and then she came on. You met
Right.
her. Were you an agent then too?
No.
You just became an agent. That was like your career that you guys chose, and then how long were you an agent for that light bulb moment of we really need to start buying real estate? How many years?
Well, I was an agent as a kid, but I'm a recovering contractor. I was a contractor for many years, and okay. Back in like 2000, I was a very successful contractor, about 30 years old, 32, whatever it was, and I was a custom kitchen specialist, and I had like a 1.5 year waiting list, $300,000 kitchen remodels, that kind of, remodel, high end. Yeah, but I got sick of working like that. And my brother says, stop your bitching, pardon my language. My brother said, stop complaining. It's your choice.
Right.
So I came home, talked to Marta, and I made a decision to close my business. And that's when.
Before that, you said you gotta get a job, do something so you can carry the weight.
No, that's true. So she wanted.
Would you repeat that?
Before he made that decision, he was telling me, I'm sick of this. I can't take it anymore. You gotta do something so I can leave this job, this career, and then, you have to relieve me. You gotta be able to take the bills, take care of the kids, everything, and so I can leave my job.
Right, so I can just watch TV.
But he told me, you gotta do something, a business. And I was straight from Chicago, just barely married to him. I was 22?
Well, I married you when you were 22. You were like, I don't know,
26,
27?
yeah. And then I said, I guess I'll do real estate because I don't know anybody. I'm from Chicago. I don't have any family. I went to my broker and he says to me, you don't get a desk, you don't get a cubicle. Here's 100 business cards. Go talk to 100 people. Do not come back after you talk to 100 people about real estate.
So basically said get out there and start moving. Yeah.
Right. But then I was able to do well in real estate, right, in 3 months or 6.
By the 6th month, she had all the bills covered, had some nice money in the bank, and I was free from my slave work as a contractor.
So you really owe her.
Yes, okay, let's go with that. Happy wife, happy life.
All right. I just had to go with that. Okay. Well, so you guys were doing that, and at that point, if she's paying the bills because you were able to start segueing, and then you became an agent.
Correct.
During that time, watch what
I had my license already, but then I joined her as
right.
Yeah.
And then together, you guys were really kicking butt.
Yes, we did. We did very well.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like hard work, but you made some pretty good money. Nice life.
Any business that's not constantly prospecting will soon be out of business. And sometimes you get complacent, and because things are coming in and you just expect it and it just shows up. I meet people like you and stuff like that,
Right.
But really, right now it's a crucial time, at least in my life, I think in my wife's life as well. I'm going back to full-time prospecting. I just finished up a couple of rehabs with some vacant units. We had some bad experiences, fixed these. So I'm free from my construction and, managerial duties.
You kind of get reset.
Yeah, I'm going to go prospecting.
Okay. All right. Well, that kind of goes into, let me kind of go with this, is right now, you've gone through being an agent, just being agents, and then you were flipping Obviously, you guys were talking about that. And I know you said a while ago that you pretty much stopped flipping for like 5 years, right? Something like that. You were just, managing rentals and stuff. So why don't you go into that, for example, from the flipping and some of the rentals, what made you keep some of those? Obviously, you knew about that it's really the investing, but like what percentage were you buying a few rentals and then flipping a couple in the beginning, and then you started flipping less because you went from flipping like crazy to no flipping. So how did you do that to buying the rentals? And now you're doing ADUs a lot. You've added a few on your rentals, right?
That's a challenge in itself, but yeah.
Why don't you go into some of that and then how the Lonnie deals come into place?
Well, I have a lot to thank two people. Mr. Andy Teasley, okay? Of course, I met Andy back in some bar in Ukaipa. Okay? And I don't go to bars. We don't go to bars. We played Cash Flow 101.
Yeah.
And I must confess that I did think that Andy was an insane man. Yeah, because I didn't know who he was, and I'm sitting next to him, I go, this guy's crazy, okay? But he must be a genius, too. And then also, I got to give props to my son, Rodolfo, right there.
All right, Rodolfo. Everyone, there he is up there.
So we stopped flipping, everyone's got problems. And I'm not going to say what problems. We had some serious family problems. Big deal, we're past it. Everything's good now. God is good,
right?
Okay? But when we actually focused together as a family, we started cranking. So it took me several years to actually do what Mr. Teasley said. Because I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to hang out at a mobile home park. I'm lowering myself. These people are like, oh my God, what? And now I'm hanging out in mobile home parks, okay?
Right.
And it's good.
Anyone, real quick, I got to add that. How many people of you in real estate, those of you in here, had a negative view of mobile homes? Like, yeah, it might be fine for some people, but I don't want to bet, all right? And then, yeah, that was a big mistake for a lot of us. Anyway, I had to continue.
Yeah, so it's been good. I mean, there's...
In 1 year, you and Rodolfo did 28?
A lot.
It was like in like a year and a half, or like 2 years, we did like 25, not 28.
25, 28, close enough.
Something like that.
Did a lot.
Who cares?
Did well.
Just
32.
Yeah. Tomorrow morning it'll be like 109 or something like that, depending on how much
But it was very challenging, right? So, but we can all run with our gifts, okay? So this is a gift that I can run a crew in my sleep, okay? I've been a contractor. I was born at Home Depot, okay? My brother's a contractor. My dad was a contractor. Another brother's a contractor. I am a recovering contractor. So Marta wants me to go back to being a full-time agent. That's her dream. But that's not going to happen. It's good, but I can mix prospecting. I can help her, okay? And I can help the business in investing. So that's the main goal right now. So we have the single families. We have the mobile homes. It did get a little bit tired, though, Evan. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
I was working like an animal 6 days a week, and I got a little bit burnt out. But luckily, these past 6 months, a little bit of like a refresh. It's like a reboot.
You got to recharge now and then. You got to go out. There's a time to work and there's time to play, and you got to find time for both. In the beginning, yeah, you work. You get paid. You work. You pay. You do that. But every time you have a win, you also put a little bit aside and go out and have a nice night out of town, and or get away for a couple of days. Don't go spend the check, but go spend 5%, 10%. Go spend it on one nice dinner. You've got to have those little rewards. Or what is the point?
Yeah.
Okay? No one ever said on the deathbed, oh my God, I wish I worked a few more hours. Right? But you're going to go, oh, I wish I saw my grandson one more time. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. But okay, so right now, how many ADUs have you added in the last little bit, if you don't mind sharing real quick?
I started a couple, but I abandoned them.
Oh, you did?
I do not think ADUs are a good idea.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's something I want to hear.
Okay. Just today, I was getting ready for my electrician to come put a combo unit, a combo box, what do you call it, a dual meter.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
and he calls me today, he says, hey, there's a 9-month wait on the dual meters. I said, what? So I found one. I was on the phone for hours today. I found one in Riverside. There was a cancellation with another guy who decided not to do an ADU. He got smart. Okay? So the ADU process, I'm not in love with it. I thought I was, because they come out and they reassess your property, you know, and then it's just then your insurance goes up. And then I had one tenant leave because they didn't want to share the property with the ADU. So stuff like that. So I'm not a big fan, but sorry.
Okay, sounds like I need to, so the dual panel, is what the problem?
Yeah, but I found one.
Yeah,
One.
sounds like you need to go buy all of those up real quick and then resell them to people like him at inflated prices. There's the market.
I have a resource in Phoenix.
Wow.
See, you just look, the answers are in the club. You just by stating what you need, and you'll find those. Okay, well look, let me ask you something else then. So you're basically saying you're going to go out like prospecting again. I always talk about, I'm just always on. I wear this a lot. I get a couple people, you know, a month asking, hey, what's that about, you know? Or one of the books I'm reading or somewhere, and it's just one of those extra little things just by doing things very nonchalantly, and then, you know, we could post on Facebook and just going out and about, or I'm talking to somebody. I sat at Del Taco earlier today and talking to the manager, and I said that, I'm going to be doing this tonight, interviewing some friends, and she starts asking about the club and everything else. I do that all the time, so I don't really ever stop. It's just something that I just enjoy doing. So that, motorcycles, real estate, Angela, grandkids, motorcycle, real estate, Angela. It keeps going all the way around. That's what it does. So, so I understand that. So you're talking about doing that, and then whatever leads come, you'll either farm them to her or your real estate business.
Right. And there's a recipe to everything. Okay, like a Coke. Like the houses I did were all the same. There's no surprises. So prospecting is pretty much the same thing. You can visit. There's so many avenues. We did Mike Ferry for years. So it doesn't matter what business you're in, you can find business. You got to look for it. Okay. So we have the probate attorneys, divorce attorneys. You know, you got the FSBOs, you have the expired listings, you have the absentee owners.
Those are your sources.
Yes.
Those are your sources.
If you visit an expired or a FSBO, let's say a FSBO, okay?
For sale by owner, for those of you that don't know.
So you knock on the FSBO, he tells you to F off, okay? And then you knock 5 doors to the side, 5 doors to the other side, 5 or 10 across the street. Then you go to your next FSBO. So you could bang out 50, 60 door knocks in a day easy. See? And you get to know the neighborhood. That's the benefit right there. So, anything you want to add to that, Marta? Okay.
Yeah, I just put a FSBO up on Zillow the other day, and I'm already getting the agents, the how I can put this on the MLS, I can do this and this and this and this, and some showing. So, yeah, I can attest to that. So, yeah, okay. Well, let me ask you this: is that so in your business, obviously she's the agent now, but what else does she do? What do you do? How does your operation work? How do you, when you find deals or a lead comes in or she gets a lead, who does what? When do you send them to him? When do you send them to her? And then where are you getting your leads? So let's talk about some of those now with what you're doing, and then who's responsible for what?
Well, I do live with a crazy woman. She has something called an incantation, okay? So she says, my phone rings off the hook, and the lady that she does her incantations with in the morning, Mary Holmes, okay?
Yeah, Mary.
Yeah, Mary would say, your phone rings off the hook, or blah, blah, blah. You know, I have constant business. So this lady gets so many calls a day because of her belief.
Mindset, that goes back to that.
Yeah, so whatever you believe will be your reality. Simple as that. And that could go either way, good or bad.
That's right.
Okay?
Profess it.
Yeah. So you have to be careful what you think. So she gets a lot of deals just like that, or we know thousands of agents over the years. I sometimes get a call, hey Al, yeah, I got this. I go, who the hell is this? And I go, oh shit, I'm so sorry. And then I remember. So
Yeah, tell me a little bit more, and then you start going, oh, now I remember. How
how are the kids? I don't have kids, man.
Okay, all right, but with that, if that's how you deal with that, but in operations like Angela, for example, she runs our back end and makes sure that the bills get paid, that escrows are being followed, that the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. Why isn't this done? Why isn't that? Where's this? What's going on? The money goes here. The money goes there. She handles. I couldn't do anything like I do without her. So that's where she is, and while I'm out finding deals, finding the tenants, or handling the property, or handling the rents. She lets me know, hey, these aren't paid, etc. So that's kind of how we do that. And then if I get a lead, I'll point to her, or me, or someone else. So how does that work with you two?
She handles a lot of that stuff. When there's a problem, she tells me, okay, blah, 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 we have this going on. So she's
Keeps
not,
on track?
yeah, she's not clerical. Yeah. You see what I mean? She only calls when there's a problem. Then I go deal with the problem.
You want to add to that, Marta? You put your own words on that? Let him talk like that?
I do the taxes, I do all the bills, I do all the everything, the clerical work, all the contracts, I do the hunting, and pretty much handle the whole thing. He's boots on the ground with the properties, he manages all the tenants, I just sell. Because see, we still need money to be coming in, and we manage it. And he looks for properties that are good to buy. And he's on there like a contractor, knows with the guys, with the works, with the boots on the ground. But I have to keep on bringing the income, and making sure all the houses, the insurances are paid, the mortgages, everything, the payments.
Does that sound
and the
familiar in
taxes.
any way?
So, I'm the admin, which I'm not an admin kind of person, you guys. I am not, right, Rodolfo?
No.
I
You guys are a good team though. You kind of do like the clerical and the managing, and he makes the magic happen. He makes the magic happen. Every flip looks the same.
That's my son.
Yes, yeah, that's all. No, you know what? That's also very obvious. It's also how you two also a lot of times couples feed off each other in the sense of their strengths and weaknesses and the things they do, and then they can bring something into where a lot of places where I'm weak, she's immensely strong.
It takes two to tango.
It takes two to tango, and that is very true.
we definitely could not have all the doors that we have and all the mobile homes that we have if it wasn't for his strength. I would not even deal with it,
You just want to sell it all.
That's yes.
Angela said the same to me. I'm like, don't you dare! I have to live forever. At least I'll live her, or otherwise I'm worried what's going to happen. So circle the drain. If anything happens to me, call her. She'll be fire sale.
No, but Rodolfo helps a lot, in the family. So he's a great asset.
Oh, tell them how he buys your listing sometimes, or you guys will buy your listing.
Yes, add that. Explain that.
Is that illegal? Maybe we shouldn't talk about that. The best one is, though, we had a great relationship with a probate married couple out of Whittier. They were brokers, and they were retired cops.
Okay.
Who cares what their name is, okay? And it was great until I had a partner that just effed up our relationship. Just that's what happened, okay?
Oh, wow.
And her favorite saying was, she would call me, and she would say, "This stays in a police car, okay?" So who you know really does matter. One day she called me and says, "I have a duplex in Monrovia, and you got to buy it today for $464,000, whatever it was." So I called up my buddy, Kalini, my rich buddy, and I go, "Mike, I need $464,000 right now." We went and bought it, okay? And we made, I think Kalini and I each profited about $130,000 on that one. And just that deal.
Again, friends, financial friends and allies, like Pete says.
And they just kept coming and coming. He can pick up the phone and she could say, "I got like 10 probates. Which one do you
what
want?"
a bad problem to have. Oh my God. Rudolfo wants to add something.
I wanted you to tell them about how those were flips, but now you buy her listings as rentals and you keep them. Remember Terry?
I'm trying to avoid that.
All right, wait, no more. Rudolfo, you're not here.
We'll talk later, son.
You know a guy.
I know a guy.
Thank you. It's okay.
A separate or corporate.
Later.
It's good for everybody, but I have
Stop digging, man. Stop digging.
But I have to confess real quick about
Okay.
wholesalers. I had a hatred for wholesalers. For years. I hated these people.
Probably for a different reason, though.
I changed my mind though. We have
Okay.
a duplex right now in Ukaipa, and Rodolfo found it, and it was from a wholesaler, and this dude was harking at me to bring my $10,000 into escrow, and I'm like, "Dude, stop bothering me, okay? It's gonna be cool." But then I go, "This guy's insane." So I met with the listing agent. I said, "Why don't we cut this a-hole out, and you double end it, and I get it for $10,000 less. So we bought it. So I feel really bad about that. It felt great when I did it, but it's like doing drugs. They're great. It's great now, but not so good the next day. Let's be real.
He was trying to do a double escrow or something. He was
Yeah.
trying to use
Yeah, it was a double escrow.
Anyway, sometime.
Sorry,
Thank you,
everybody.
Ross, wherever you are. Okay. Well, let me kind of go along with keep this moving a little bit on that. Next question. No, so real quick, you mentioned it earlier, but I want to know, like right now, most of your marketing and deal finding just comes from you two and your sons, more and people you know.
Yeah. Well, it's all going to change now. We have a prospecting campaign that's going to start like next week. So I do have an open house, my first open house that I've ever done in because I am an agent, I'm a licensed agent. So a buddy from church is losing it, so we listed it. And I'm going to go to knock the neighborhood and have an open house. Okay? San Bernardino, you saw
Oh
it.
yeah,
in
I was
Evans.
in the house. Okay.
Yeah.
So you again, but most of your deals that you're doing have been that, but now you're going to get back to proactive and go through the neighborhood once you're there.
Yes. So
Okay, but
listings-
no postcards. That's what I'm saying. No massive
Nope,
cold
we
calling
don't
right
do that.
now. None of that.
So, I mean, deals come when you look for them. We had something called the neighborhood update.
Okay.
And she would knock 100 doors. I would knock 100 doors a day, 9 to 12 every day. And people would see actives, pendings, and closed. By the way, if you want to compare it to market analysis, just call us. And I used to knock on the door, and when they would answer, I'd say, "My name is Al. Do you have any real estate questions? Andy, do you have any real estate questions?"
I have a non-real estate question. How many guns have you had pointed at you knocking on doors?
Quite a few. Some guy tried to stab me one time. Yeah. Yeah.
Well-
Everybody says none, because I've never had a problem. But
Yeah. Well, the reason why I'm asking is for those of you that are on the tight budgets again, and some of us have said, who you know, the relationship you're building, knocking on doors, or in our case, driving for dollars, and then making a phone call, or driving for dollars and knocking on a door, or going to garage sales. There's a lot of ways to do that without spending money other than gas or foot power going through shoes. And here is a prime example, made a career out of that, starting that way to where you're not having to do that as much, going and knocking on doors 100 a day, et cetera, as much.
Now it's all relationships. Relationships are big. It's who you know. Your phone just rings and say, "Hey, I got a deal. You want to buy this house?"
And that doesn't go out of style. No matter what's going on in technology, no matter people still want to buy from people, they still want to call you because they know you and they're in a jam and don't know what else. So again, I didn't know they were going to say this. This is the stuff, though, it's the same thing. You can go do the other, spend a lot of money on campaigns, and there's nothing wrong with that. It works well, too, depending on what you're trying to do. That's all.
Last year, we did not spend a penny on advertising. I'm just talking about my real estate business. I do regular sellers and buyers. We sold like 40 homes in 1 year. I sold 40
really
homes.
good.
Yeah. So, and we did not spend a penny. We don't do Zillow, we don't do Redfin, I don't do postcards, mailers, nothing. It was just calling people, being on the grinder from 8 o'clock.
You and me did like 32, right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, guys, it works. Whatever you do
You just
works.
work it, and it works. It's like pick something, right? Yeah, and then stick with it. Okay, and who's heard that before? Just work something and keep working something, and it works, right? So, cool. Well, you mentioned earlier, so where's most of your funding come from the deals you're doing now? Like if you're going to buy, right now, this goes with the next question at the same time. You're looking for still more rentals or maybe a couple flips or a little bit of both, or it just depends upon the deal. And where's the funding coming up? How many do you self-fund or you call that friend of yours?
Well, through Andy, we learned what to do and what not to do. So the mobile home deals are easier to come by, okay, because they're less money.
Right.
And the return is phenomenal compared to like a SFR, okay? So there's that. But and we took a lot of her income from the real estate for down payments. So there's the magic of what we do. She makes her money, and we're very humble people, very simple people. We love the club. Sometimes I think to myself, why are we doing what we're doing? But this is what we do, okay? So we take her money, down payment, and we buy property, okay? So that's there is no
You're
magic
taking your
sauce.
active income, for she's
Yeah.
making it from that service, and you're putting into rentals most is what you're doing,
Yeah.
or mobile homes.
Well, both.
Both, yeah.
So, you know, I'm now.
You're
that
not
I'm-
buying extra boats and extra vehicles and extra.
I'm not buying diamonds, I'm not buying fancy cars, nothing like that. I'm not. Facelifts or any kind of plastic surgery. I'm not splurging, you know. I just live for the next deal. That gets me excited to buy property. It's like an addiction. He said, we're not buying no more stuff. No more. We need to build it up.
Well, I buy motorcycles when I on a regular basis. I
Just do another deal, right? Buy another motorcycle. Okay, we won't talk about that part right now. My wife's right here. I'm going to talk about motorcycles. But okay, so that's where your funding goes. But if you're going to buy a flip, you still calling friends? You calling private money lenders, or are you just going in your pockets to, or a little bit of everything?
Well, with the club now, I've changed my perspective. Okay, I used to just save the money and buy something cash. That's
Right,
how I was
remember that.
raised.
You remember
know,
that.
You don't got money, you don't buy it, dummy.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? But now it's different. It's like then Jimmy's book, you know, Invest in Debt. And then Mr. Teasley taught us everything, and then you got Goodwin. So I'm changing the way I see things now.
Yeah, it becomes cash on cash.
Yeah.
You start realizing, you start putting a big chunk of money down, your own cash, this much cash, and you're making, you might make $50,000 in a deal, but if you put $500,000 out to make 50, that's like 10%. But if you actually put 50,000 out and borrow someone's money, and by the time you're done, you make 50, that's 100% cash on cash. So it becomes like cash on cash. How much money you're spending and what you're getting. And that's what's interesting. That's what I find interesting. So, okay.
Well, at the same time, though, you know, it's good to go back to basics. Like, you know, sometimes the old ways are the best ways. I mean,
Okay.
the prospecting, I am actively looking for a cash partner and to redo what I did before and say I can flip 10 properties. Let's say I do 10, on the 10th one I have enough money to buy one myself.
Okay.
Because I do get a thrill off of writing a check for a property. It's just thrilling when you can buy real estate with a check or a wire. Now the prices are higher now, but so what?
Right.
So I do have that in mind for the next phase.
Bill Cook says that on the financial calculator. Look for the FG button on it. You can't find it because it feels good to own it free and clear.
That's right.
You know, so it just feels good, even though it makes no sense on one way. But hey, if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're doing there. So right now, are you this in we're in 2024 with what's coming up? Are you thinking this year you're going to go do a couple more flips to go buy that? That's what your goal is. You want to add 5 more rentals, or you don't know? You're just going to be. What is it? You want to get her out of that trap of being an agent, so she can go buy those diamonds, and maybe she buys her own motorcycle. Yeah.
I'm just at this point where I'm giving back. I'm trying to help other agents that want to learn. I don't want to open an office, but I do want to get more rentals because I don't want to be working so hard all the time in regular sales. It does burn you out. It's very super stressful. You know, it is, right, Angela? I mean, seriously, sometimes you're high and sometimes you're low. It's really hard. So, but I'm ready to just not sell so many. We fired our coach, well, nicely, you know.
Right,
We won't be, because we pay for a coach. We had paid
As
for a
agents, you pay,
professional
yep.
coach to have someone coach you. We were paying that's the only thing we did splurge. We are paying $1,200 a month for coaching to sell at a high level. And it does work because you gotta be mentored by somebody that knows how to do it. Whatever you wanna do, you have to pick somebody that knows.
Right.
How
That
to
goes
do
back to Tiger Woods had a putting coach. Kobe Bryant had a shooting coach. You think you get to the point that someone like Kobe would go, I don't need this anymore. I don't need to go. I'm good. I know I can make. No, they still perform at the higher levels. You still need that. So that's why we all look at that. That's why it might not be as a formal relationship, but like with paying you to be a coach, it could be something as simple as having people around you mentoring you. And a matter of fact, I was remembering, while we were talking, I was having flashbacks where we actually started seeing each other at Mixed Lunch way back in like 2015, 16, 17. We started bumping in. Hey, hi, how are you? And then I met Marta. That's where I met Marta. And Mixed Lunch has been going around for like 30 years, that Tuesday event. And even though he's gone, we learned a lot from Mick. And it's something that, again, you get to know great people. So I got to know Al a lot more there than before here, before the club had the firehouse, the fire center, or anything else.
You know, I have such great respect for you, Evan. I mean, I have no words for it. I think about you all the time. You know, all good things too. I say all good things.
He's always telling me good things about you.
Yeah, man. It's like, what a treasure we have here with Evan. You know.
No, seriously.
Andy's fantastic, of course. Goodwin's fantastic. You know, the rest of the crew. You know, look at this. It's fantastic. What a blessing we have here to have this community. And if you guys are sitting there and you're thinking you want to become real estate investors, I know some of you are, but some of you are just starting. All you have to do is decide. That's it. Because success is a decision like getting up out of a chair. I'm just a Mexican, okay? That's all I am. All right? And I never knew I would be like an investor guy. You know, look, he's nice enough to invite me. Like, what do I know? I'm just a guy born in Chicago in the late 60s. But Evan was nice enough to invite me, but I have the greatest respect for you and what you do.
You're too kind. Really. Really, guys. You're too kind. Thank you. Now I'm going to...
Let him all ring now, Al. Dang it.
Yeah, it's like it's okay. Okay, stop.
I'm looking for money. That's why I'm
looking for money.
Yeah, I want a loan.
So, well, you know what? One of the things is trying to follow the notes here is really kind of too much curves, but that's what's awesome. You got to do business with your friends, and we almost did a deal together. The one you were talking about, San Bernardino. We tried to work. I talked to her about it. We were trying to deal with that, and would have been good. Just not in the cards on that one, but there will be some others. So. What I really like is you hit it earlier on what motivates you. You love looking for your next deal, but what also motivates you, what motivates you, because I know you kind of spoke about that, but to get, well, go ahead and repeat that part again, and then we'll move on. Motivation, what's motivating you today to get up and keep doing what we're doing?
All right, I have a window. I'm 55 years old, so I have a...
Me too!
There you go.
What month?
June of 68.
September 68.
I got you by 3 months.
3 months, all right, man, all right.
So the window was... You know, Neil Schwartz is just a broker out of Century 21. Great guy, Neil Schwartz. But he would hammer reality into you. And I hated that man, okay? So he would say, time is running out, okay? And everything he was grilling us on, we now have today. Like all the insurances and properties and do this and that. And oh my God, you reflect back on what this man was telling us, and we now do that. So I have a 20-year window. So that's my motivation, because I do not want to rely on Rodolfo to pick up nursing home for me and his mom. Okay? So that's my main drive. Because this guy, I don't know. The other guy will take care of me, but I don't know about him.
You can live with me. I'll have a separate mansion on my property for you.
Oh, there you go.
I just, what motivates me now going forward, I thought it was the money. I told my coach, but I didn't want to do coaching no more because I don't want to get to 50 houses, 60 houses. I'm not about that. I've changed course. I still want to buy property. I want to buy property so I can live for free, right, off my properties and stop the rat race if I don't want to go sell another house or close another escrow. But now I can empower other people and show them how to be financially free. And that's what I want to do. I want to pay it forward and help other people.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, yeah, give that up there. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, one of the things though is now is you guys could, and we did this, is we have another son that now comes in and works in our office 5 days a week. 2 days a week, the grandson gets to come over, and then we babysit, mostly grandma, but I get to play with him for a little bit before I'm taking off. And that is actually a joy. So it really is, though. But one of our sons comes in and does a lot of the stuff to where it can take some pressure off her on the admin side. So again, but I know both of your boys are driven to be out there, but you have some things you could, farm out some things to some people too if you choose. Because, Angela and I, a lot of us, is that, as you know, there's dreamers, starters, you got estate builders, you got enders. And Angela and I, and I'm sure you guys are in the same places, we're on the back side of that estate building, the beginning of the ender, just like, do we want to slow down, stop, tweak some things, and then kind of be done? But we really love what we do. We really love this. We love this. Not always when Angela says, oh, I'm going to get on the phone with so-and-so, one of her clients, it's going to be just 5 minutes, it's going to be 2.5 hours later. She's like, okay, because people have, a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff, and they don't know where to go, where to search, and you're their answer. You're their solution. You're their confidant. You're their psychologist or psychiatrist, and their friend sometimes. And sometimes they just need an ear. And you're just listening to someone talk about something and trying to figure it out because they don't know where to go, who to trust. And they trust you. And that's something that you can't put a price on that. And so people still like to buy from people as much as technology is driven. So the idea is, so even that happens, and she knows that'll happen. Sometimes, I got to put some time aside. I'm calling this client versus this client. But it's something that when you're done with a transaction, you feel really good. In this case, helping someone unload a bunch of properties that they were left with because it's a burden to them. Let me say that again. Some people, believe it or not, will look at the fact that you leave them property as a burden, and they don't know what to do, and in this case, dealing with a friend of ours who has been around for 30 years, 40 years, working for their father's flipping business, and still kind of not sure what to do after he's gone, and had a lot of properties to get rid of. And then they called us, because I ride motorcycles, and then called her, and then we helped. Some of you were at one of their houses last year in Ontario. So we'll go with that. So let me ask you this then, is, you know what, I think I need my glasses now for this. I can't read it. Again, I'm 55. So yeah, I was. So look, it sounds like you're interested to slow down and kind of not be the super agent that you are, but what about the R word, would you ever consider retiring, or is that something that,
No, I have so much energy, I have to find somewhere else to put it.
Okay. Is that code that I would kill Al if we were home all day together?
My wife is like a controlled explosion, like a firecracker. I mean, this woman is, she drives me nuts with the little things, but I love my wife, okay? I've been with her for 29 years now. I mean, I could have split, but I love my wife. But she's a little hard to live with.
Oh boy. All right. Anyway,
a controlled explosion.
You're a braver man than I am right now. I'll tell you. Let me tell you. I think this is something that is. I think what's cool, and after knowing you guys for so long and seeing that you seem to bring out the best in each other, at least professionally. No, but definitely on that. And so that's something, because remember, what two people can do is more than just what two individuals can do. Okay, when two are together, it's that powerful. I know there's a biblical saying on it, but we're not going to go there. But let me ask you then, real quick, before one of my second last question is, if you were starting over, or you had tips for newer investors right now, or tips for seasoned investors right now, 2024, interest rates are 6.5% for someone owner-occupier, 7-8% for if you want to be a landlord. Tips for, you already said about finding deals, but any other general tips from your guys' decades in this business? What would you give someone who says, hey, I'm thinking about being a real estate investor, or I want to be a wholesaler, or I want to buy and hold, or what?
That is a pretty broad question, but
start. Someone wanted to start.
I would ask, what is their goal? Like, what is your 1-year goal? What's your 5-year goal? What's your 10-year goal? Okay. So first you got to know that.
Have a goal.
What are your goals?
Okay.
1 year, 5 year, 10 year. Okay. So do you want to
Okay.
be, do you want to have 50 units, 50 doors, okay? Do you just want to flip and have a nice extra income, like 150,000 extra a year to party? What do you really want?
Let's say someone wanted to make $100,000 a year.
In flipping, okay?
$100,000 a year and they're new and this is their first night.
Okay. Tell everyone that you're in real estate. Go
Okay.
knock on some doors. Do it smartly, get a nice title rep that you can work with. Okay, visit the FISBOs, visit the NODs, okay, the absentee owners,
Okay.
and just go door knocking.
Okay.
I mean, it's cheap and it's effective.
And then tell everybody what you're doing.
That's right.
So that's what
You're an investor. Everyone here is an investor. Yes, Andy.
Who here doesn't know what all those initials mean and is willing to own up to it?
Okay.
Oops.
All right.
Sorry.
Go ahead. NOD, notice of default. Someone that's not making their house payment, maybe, and is going into foreclosure, pre-foreclosure. It's NOD. FISBO, for sale by owner. There are sites, FISBO.com, you can go to, and it's for sale by owners, for example. And yes, Rodolfo.
I want to give a great example. So I was a real estate agent, right? With my mom, we were a team together. I was calling FISBOs every single morning. 99% of them, they do want to list with a real estate agent. Me and my brother did a fantastic deal in Desert Hot Springs. This lady had a mobile home, 1987, beautiful pitched roof, super nice, long, and like 14 by 70 feet, huge, right? And all these agents, my brother's actually the one that called her because we called side by side. And all these agents were calling her. And I remember, I think I had called her, but I had asked the wrong question. And she wasn't looking for an agent. But this is a great example of for sale by owners will advertise them on the market, but they're not looking for an agent. They're looking for someone to solve their problem. Yeah, this lady, she didn't want the house sold. She needed the house removed from the park. She didn't mind giving it to me for free. She gave it to me
Oh, darn, what a problem. I just gonna give you this house for free.
So I got so much spread. My only expense is my labor and my material, and I'm gonna make like $100,000 on it, So
Hear that again. First of all, notice his passion and how excited he is. Plus, who wouldn't be excited for $100,000? I don't know about you, but, and he's 22. So those of you, don't get mad about his youth and inexperience right now. Life hasn't beaten him up yet. But there's a lot to teach you, and that's what taking Annie's class and also being influenced by two amazing people right here. Gotta tell you on that. So what's in your future? Winding down, pretty much that way we have some Q&A. What's in your future right now? I know you kind of cover this, dance around, but like tomorrow, next month, next year, or next month and the next few months throughout the year.
Okay, next month I'm buying another motorcycle. It's April. And then in
What kind? I gotta know.
BMW.
Huh?
BMW.
Okay, BMW, okay.
And then in May we're going to Cancun on our vacation, first vacation in 5 years.
Awesome, first vacation in 5 years. Okay. Do not bring your laptop, no. She's like, I'm bringing it. Angela would just kill me right then. No, it's coming. Okay, so yes.
He's like, you're not working 7 days a week no more.
Okay, so good, that's gonna be, okay. Having a day not working, or two, okay.
You have to draw the line. She would go out and show a buyer or go do a listing presentation on Mother's Day, okay? And I would flip out, and she dragged me with her a couple times. So you have to draw the line, because, and like when a real estate deal is going, let's say it's going south, like a listing, Angela, okay? And, what? What train? Oh man, like a train, like a bunch of contingent, this guy's buying this house and this guy's buying, this guy's selling. So no one dies when something goes south. That's what a broker of ours years ago said. No one's going to die, okay? Right, so give them 24 hours to simmer. Even in our deals, when something hits the fan, people are very emotional and you can get crazy too. So just give it a little time to just blow over.
Okay.
And pick it up in the morning, so.
Good advice.
Yeah, that's good advice. Matter of fact, I've had to remind some people of that. We've had people screaming at each other, this deal's off, we're canceling, we're doing, okay, wait a second, let me call them, figure it out, call them, and maybe there's a price reduction somewhere or someone's giving a credit, but it's like, solve the problem. We don't want the house, you guys want the house, so let's stop yelling at each other and just get it moved. right? And then maybe we adjust something or not. Versus, no, we're drawing a line in the sand. This is war, and then you've got to go relist the house. It's you can say and have that conversation. We've had that conversation. All the things we want to do to somebody, but we're not. It's like Andrew, put the shovel back in the garage. I'm not going to go do that. It's okay. Stop that. Maybe that was me. I don't know. But anyway, you get the idea, right? You have that feeling. So. Okay, well, look, that's really all I have at the moment because I wanted to leave some time for some Q&A. First of all, anyone have any questions for Al or Marta here? All right, here, I'm going to run the mic to you.
Oh, okay. It might sound weird, but I know you mentioned getting deals through a motorcycle club. I heard you mention getting deals through the motorcycle club because you had a motorcycle, and he's getting a motorcycle or already has one. So because you guys use it for real estate purposes, does that mean the motorcycle itself is tax deductible?
I asked our tax advisor that exact question because I wanted to wrap it. I have stickers on. I wanted to wrap it with We Buy Houses and all that. He thought I was pushing it a little bit, even though the gas that I use if I'm driving for dollars, and I have driven for dollars or ridden for dollars on a motorcycle, and scouted out some stuff and done all that, I can tax deduct, but I have not tried to deduct the bike, even though you could if you really were doing that a lot. I wanted to deduct all of it, and all that. He goes, no, that's not a good idea. But I know other people that do it because their primary means is a motorcycle. So,
Hogs get slaughtered.
I did that for 2 years though. I just provided my accountant with a picture of my bike with the listing sign. Okay, I'm servicing the listings, putting flyers in the box, so you can do it.
I have a question. What advice would you give to a partner between husband and wife? I mean, you guys seem to have figured it out. You mentioned 29 years. My goal is to do the same thing with my wife. She's actually running an assisted living facility as we speak. It's a 24-hour 7 business. And we're looking to kind of implement the same thing that you're doing where, I want to use all of her income to flip it right into real estate and make it work that way. It's absolutely stressful, so I'm looking for a little bit of advice because that's where I want to be at.
What do you think about that? Well, if you just take our case, she was able to carry the load of the family financially while I jumped in. I closed my business, but you could start small. I mean, number one, you have to identify the deal, get into the habit of being a real estate investor. Okay, knock on some doors. Get with the club. Who here has money to lend? I borrowed money off of Steve Lazarson. First time I did, a deal with Steve. He's not here tonight. I talked to him a little while ago. But yeah, connect with the people here for the funding, and then they're gonna see, okay, is it a good deal? And then you have your first one. Also, start small. I mean, Andy's course is fantastic. The returns on the mobile homes are phenomenal. Okay, so it doesn't take a lot of cash out of your pocket to get one done. So, do you know anything about the mobile homes?
I took Andy's class, yeah.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so Lonnie deals are fantastic. So I recommend them starting with the mobile homes.
Second question, I have a Ducati 899 for sale if you're interested.
Okay, let me say something that, especially to people that have a significant other. If you're also have told your significant other, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and do this, and do this, and then you don't perform on this, and this, and this, in all these years, and then now you're like, I'm going to be a real estate investor. And they're going, all right, I've already heard this on 19 other things. You're going to have to go perform a little bit and then see that you're working, because if not, they're just not going to believe you. And that's just a reality of some relationships. I have some friends that are like that. It doesn't matter what the husband does or the wife does. The other's like, no, I've heard this. He's done 19 things and it's happened. So understand that because that matters. And when they see your commitment, you start working and you bring a check home, that changes things. We didn't have this issue, but that first check, that was the key. And for a lot of people, that's the yeah, basically you've done it. It's like now they're like, oh, we get how much? What do you mean we? This is mine. I worked, right? You get the idea. So keep that in mind. And so early on with Angela and I, we did a deal where we had $2,000 in the bank, and we had to come up with $108,000 in 8 days. All right? And no, Farrah, wasn't as big as the thing you had to do in like 5 days, but you know, it was 108, and we just didn't have it. And I told her, oh, by the way, we got to come up with 108,000 or 106,000 in 8 days. And by that time, she said, okay, and turned around and walked away. She knew I figured it out somehow because we had been doing that. But if she had said, what, you're crazy, there's no way. So start small, or bring a partner in, or work with someone that's done something, but it's a little advice I can give. So if you want to do some things, go do a couple things. Improve your word, okay? If not, I just don't believe me.
I just want to say too, for those that work with your significant other, if you're really going to make it lasting and be powerful, my advice, what really has been huge for us, is to be each other's best cheerleaders. Don't knock yourself down. You know, even if you think that partner's idea is stupid, don't shoot it down and verbalize it. Just say, yes, honey, you are my hero. Yes, babe, I believe in you. You know what? It will start to turn around, and you will start believing that. It's not nonsense, you know? I've had some doozy ideas. I told him we were out in the desert, and we were busted up, guys. After making so much money, we had not a penny. I said to him, you know what? I'm going to sell jewelry, costume jewelry in the desert.
We're not selling it to cactuses, okay? But we were living in Phoenix, and we literally had $500 to our name, and I had 2 little boys to feed, okay? I will bust it out. So she goes, let's sell some costume jewelry. The ladies like the jewelry, right? She used to buy jewelry. $5 jewelry. Yeah, so after we got going, you have to be flexible when stuff goes south, okay? So we were making like $1,800 a day selling costume jewelry. On a bad day, we'd make like what, $300 on a bad day, okay? But some days are $1,500, $1,800, cash money, nothing to Uncle Sam a la bolsa, right here. Okay?
I mean, but he could have said, what are you thinking? That's an idiot idea, and shoot me down. He didn't. He just ran with it. So you build unity, you know, because you're together, and that is very powerful. And you need to take her to seminars. You need to go together. You need to read self-improvement books, listen to audio tapes. I mean, till this day, this man, he just put us for Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. It's so powerful, the Walk on Fire, do all that together as a couple. It just gets you to the next level.
Hey Al? Yes. Don't claim other people's stories as your own. That's just not cool.
That's true, yeah.
That guy you know, don't tell his story and claim it's yours.
I was hallucinating.
This question is for your wife.
Okay.
Marta, how about we go halves on a couple of grandkids? Can we make that happen?
You got to sell him out of that one.
Well, either one will work.
What he said?
I think I heard him. I'm afraid to ask. I'm just not going to ask. There's something there, though. Yes?
My question's for Marta.
Yeah.
What are some of your best tips for door knocking? What do you find is most successful in your years of experience?
Okay, so door knocking on regular for wholesales, for flips, or just regular door knocking for the real estate business?
Regular/wholesale.
Okay.
Or even mobile.
Mobile homes, what I would do is just go on a Saturday in the morning at 9 o'clock and start knocking the whole neighborhood. And ask the people, just knock, say hi, you know. This is Marta, I'm just in the neighborhood. I really like this park. I have a mother. I want to buy her a mobile home. Have you thought of selling? If it needs work, it's even better because I'll buy it cash. Or do you know anybody that's thinking about selling? Any of your neighbors? I also give referrals. Here's my number. Give me a call. Okay? So I would go in the morning from 9 to 12. You got to go early before they go on their errands and doctor appointments. And every evening, you can go door knocking from 3 to 6 when people are coming home from work. That's the best tips. You 2.5 hours, you'll make 30 contacts, and you'll get like 3 leads. Yeah.
That sounds a little too complicated, I think, though, right?
I have Mike back. Is this on? Yes. Okay. I have Mike, and I've been noticing something, and I will speak up to that. That several times you have said, well, I kind of like maybe she wouldn't be working anymore. Well, my wife, we had 59 years together. She loved her work and her clients. She went to work on a Thursday. I took her to the hospital on Friday. She didn't come back out of the hospital. So she was 86 years old. She continued to love what she was doing. And her biggest problem was she hadn't run into anybody that she felt she could turn her clients over to, and they would be taken care of by the other person. So I see there's a lot of ladies in here, and men too. Looks like pretty evenly tonight. But just respect your partner and realize that they have wishes and desires that they want to do, and that doesn't have to satisfy you all the time. And something that I have always had to remember, and my wife and I had a fantastic marriage, is if you agree all the time, one of you is unnecessary. Right?
Any other questions? No? Yes. Fair.
Have you guys tried, like, I know that you guys do a lot of door knocking, have you guys tried cold calling, or was that just not your, and what, like, any tips for any of the agents, oh, there we go. Any tips for, like, any of the agents here that are pursuing cold calling as one of the means of generating business, or even the investors or wholesalers?
Cold calling is very good, but then again, like, I could do very well cold calling. I just don't like it. I'd rather go hit the streets. I like being in the streets, okay? She is very good at cold calling. My son is very good at cold calling. It's fantastic. I just don't like it. But whatever works for you is what's going to work, okay? So, yeah.
That goes back to whatever, again, if someone says you really should do this all the time, but you can do these others, and even if that's the number one source, if you just hate it and you're just not going to do it, and that means you're never going to, well, go to the next best thing. If really what it is, if you don't want to do it, don't. Go do what you do want to do, because what happens, even if you get more successful, remember this, you'll pay other people to go do the things you don't want to do, and you'll go do what you want to do. So if you enjoy being outside, knocking on doors, I love driving neighborhoods. All right, pick up the phone, not so much if I'm just cold calling someone, but if I'm in a neighborhood and I really like the house, I don't mind calling. If not, I also, in our case, we sent a lot of postcards about that house with a photo. And I loved being out there doing that. I do that all the time. So that was not a big deal to me. It was just, so again, we tend to gravitate to what's easier for us. As long as it's working for you, great. You'll have someone else come up and say, man, it's all about cold calling. Or it's all about mailers. You got to spend $10,000 a week. And you know what? They're right. That works for them too. Look what Jim's talking about it on with the auctions. There's lots of ways to do things. There isn't that this is wrong and this is right. There's just a lot of different ways to do things, and what kind of floats your boat.
You can also go door knock. You can be very specific and go door knock at probate attorneys. Make appointments. Go see them, and just narrow it down. You can prospect.
So that's on my list, but I'm going to go as far as pay these people, because to get in through the gatekeeper to get the attorney is a dog. So, but if you pay them, it's going to put you in a whole different light.
What do you mean by pay them? Give them a cut, or just pay them for their service?
Well, we'd both be bailing each other out of jail for that, but that's a very good idea. I'd love to do that, but you got to just pay them for their hour. They're like an hour, whatever they charge an hour, $250, $400, whatever. It's expensive, but if it pays off, it's well worth it.
Yes, that is true. Any other last questions? Okay. Well, then again, everyone, I just want to say again, from the bottom of my heart, Al and Marta, thank you for coming. Give everyone please give a round of applause for these two. Again, I highly respect them. Pick their brain, talk to them. They know what they're doing. This is something, and again, it's not just always about us. There's a lot of people you're sitting next to that have solutions to what's going on. And I just wanted you to know that, again, someone I highly respect. And we still got to go motorcycle riding together, man. I know, I'll do that. So thank you. Okay, where's Rich? Rich wants to come up and finish this? I don't know, where is he? All right, so I'm thinking a number between 1 and 62. No, I didn't know if you wanted to end this in particular. All right, yes, again, hey, I actually will talk about that. Hey, that financial calculator really changed my life. When we go to mixed lunch and we'd be talking about something, Mick would say, pull out your calculator. And I pull out the regular calculator. He goes, no. Pull out the calculator. I had no idea what he's talking about. And it's something that we kept hearing about and seeing. It was like, oh. So now I use that every day. All right, we use it when we run numbers, run deals, etc. If I'm buying a motorcycle, buying a car, or when we were doing solar, is 1.99% cheaper financing than 5.99? No. Depends upon what you're financing. So it gets into it where 1.99 could actually cost you more money. So you got to understand the games. And if you don't understand some of the games, that some of the service things that you're going to need, it really helps you break down what the numbers are so you can make an intelligent decision instead of going, I think that's right, it seems lower, but yet it costs you $12,000 more and you picked the lower interest rate. It happens.
And that's when the rates were cheaper.
And that's when the rates were cheaper. Because they're buying down that from 5.99 down to 1.99, it costs you 10 grand. But, I think I'm getting a better deal because it's $30 less a month. Actual story, really happened, and understanding that financial calculator. So I highly recommend you take Rich's class. If you who's never taken a financial calculator class? Never. Highly recommend for what, $90 or something like that? Or 97. Highly recommend it because one deal of you buying a car, you're going to know someone's pulling your leg. Okay? One deal, you're going to go and you're going to save $3,000. Yes, Mark?
There may still be spaces in the class this Saturday coming up with Rich.
That's the only one he's selling.
Yeah, and that's why you guys, I'm saying that again, come on out. Highly recommend that. Yes?
It will not be that ridiculous price again.
That is right. Yeah.
He was going to polish his act. He's going to be worth the $299 that Bill charges for the exact same class.
Did you hear that? Yeah, I've taken Bill Tan's course. It is. It's $300 for the day. Yeah, it's $300 a day. And when you go, you need to retake it again. You're like, wow. So for $97, it's a deal. Yeah. Yes.
We thank you.
So this is a actual separate calculator, not an app.
It is a app that you can put on your phone.
Okay.
But it is an actual calculator, but it is an app on your phone. It's like, is it $4 or something? It's like $6 you can get on your, yes. But he's going to teach you how to use it, the basics. Okay? That way you can recognize what a good deal versus a bad deal is when you start running numbers. Okay? All right?
You better have already signed up. There is a link that came with the receipt to the class. It has a link to go to the website of that developer to get that app. So you do need that before you come this weekend. And then it's also in the description of the website when you go to the website. You just go to the website. It's on like the front. There's a link with my picture.
Download the app in advance. Okay? The calculator app. All right? Okay, everybody. That's all I have. We'll be hanging around. Anyone wants to talk to Jim a little bit about what he talked about? Go get him before he goes.